The show Tiger King on Netflix has basically the whole world talking about it right now. If you have not seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Although you may rethink living in Oklahoma after seeing it. In 2015, I actually visited the GW Zoo in Wynnewood, Oklahoma. Right there. That was owned by Joe Exotic, who basically the show is all about. Believe it or not, he is exactly the same way in person that he portrays on the show. Although the show is entertaining, it opened my eyes about the mistreatment and sadness that the big exotic animals endure, basically being held in captivity. That is why I believe that these animals, such as big cats, bears, large primates, and other exotic animals, should not be forced into trying to become pets. There are so many things that can go wrong for both the animals and the people involved while they're in captivity. Keeping these animals as pets is not safe for anyone involved. It is not safe or right for the animals. These animals are, in some cases, being kept in extremely small enclosures, shown here. In the show Tiger King, a line that stuck with me was, "The reason these animals die in cages is because their soul dies." This right here is my dog's crate, and while he fits in there just fine, I only like leaving him in there for 2 to 3 hours at a time. I can because, or basically I don't leave him in there for longer than that period because I know that he's very unhappy in there. I could not imagine leaving a large animal in an inadequate cage every day for the rest of its life. In a recent interview done from prison for the New York Vulture, when asked about the treatment of the animals, Joe Exotic said, "I am ashamed of myself. Did I do it on purpose? No. I was just wrapped up in having a zoo." It is not safe for the humans involved for caring for these animals. According to Born Free USA, exotic animals do not make good companions. They require special care, housing, diet, and maintenance. When in the hands of private individuals, the animals suffer due to poor care and also pose safety and health risks to their owners and any other person coming into contact with them. People who try and make these animals pets believe that they have successfully tamed a wild animal. However, these animals have natural instincts, basically that they're born with and that can kick in at any time. And basically things can just go bad very, very quickly. These animals put people in such a fascination trance that we forget how dangerous they truly can be. A lot of things that go on behind the scenes are illegal with these animals as well. While the cost of a tiger cub is between $200 to $3,500, it is illegal to now buy them. Unfortunately, this does not stop people from obtaining them. In an article written for National Geographic, tigers were referred to as walking gold worth a fortune on the black market. It has also been speculated that places who show tiger cubs for profit, like hands-on zoos, will euthanize some of these cubs, basically when they become too large to have people play with. Once the cubs reach a certain age, usually around 12 weeks, they cannot be used to basically for crowds anymore due to the size, behavior, and someone could get injured. Here's a photo of a newborn tiger. I believe it is a 12-week-old tiger cub compared to around 12 weeks. These animals did not ask to be mistreated this way. The conservation of these animals is an argument for keeping them in cages. While these places like zoos and hands-on experiences may help with conserving these species, more often than not, this conservation will always be done in captivity instead of the wild. Most of these animals born into captivity will likely never see the wild. There are more tigers in captivity in the U.S. alone than the total wild. It is stated by the World Wildlife Foundation that there are about 5,000 tigers in captivity in the U.S. alone and approximately 3,200 tigers total in the wild. Here's a graph showing the comparison. We should be conserving these animals for a return into the wild instead of selfish human entertainment. Keeping animals in cages is depriving them of their natural instinct to be wild. There needs to be more done, basically, to return these animals to the wild instead of parading them around and discarding them into cages. When presented with just such a majestic animals, people are naive. There needs to be help for these animals because they basically just can't help themselves.